So I told somebody yesterday that the WNBA is limiting themselves by not highlighting certain players because they're acting like there's only these little bit of players right here who they got race issues and their fans got race, their race baiting issues and all this other foolishness that don't got nothing to do with nothing. And you got players over here that are really like that. Oh, first of all, it's Monday, the 18th. August 18th, y'all. And it's some things to talk about. All right? Welcome to Facilitate the Culture with Coach B, Trainer B. All right? Yeah, some things to talk about. On my end, I did a lot of thinking on the way home from the reggae concert. And I was just thinking about some of the teams. I came home and watched basketball till like 4 or 5 a.m. today. That's how serious it was, right? I had to lock in. Like I said before, I ain't got cable. So I got to watch the games how I can watch the games. So now that I got access to some of the games, I'm watching some of these teams and I'm going to be honest with you. Basketball is being played at a high level, right? A lot of the teams that are in the bottom rankings, the bottom of the standings, are really fun to watch teams. For whatever reason, may that be one person on the team carrying the team, may that be a young team who just looks really good, like you can see the vision here. Rather it be some teams don't have good coaches, but they are a good team. Rather it be teams on the injury list, right? Like the Indiana Fever, goodness gracious, right? And then you got teams who started off bad as hell that are on the rise, like your Las Vegas Aces or your Los Angeles Sparks, okay? So I want to talk about all that today. We're not going to leave a conversation without talking about Paige Buckets either. So you already know. Let's see how we're going to get started today. Some topics I want to talk about. Most used players, Dallas Wings. Playoffs, Aces. That's the topic of discussion. And I always talk about Skylar Diggins, but we got to talk about this Seattle Storm. Okay, we really have to talk about this Seattle Storm. That was my sleeper team. What are y'all doing? Y'all are now number 11 in the standings? What is happening here? Y'all can't do me like that, and y'all got a squad. I ain't gonna lie. So, first of all, let's talk about, this is good right here. Let's talk about these Las Vegas Aces. All right? They started off the season, I don't have the statistic for that, but they started off the season, prior to the All-Star break, the Aces was 500, right? Since then, since the break, they only have recorded 3 losses, right? And let's talk about 2 things. The first thing is all the people that was coming from a girl, Becky Hammon, right? Y'all was rah-rah talking about the Valkyries coach was the one doing the coaching. And as much as I would be open to listening to that, I'm thinking to myself, you talking about the Becky Hammon that coached with Pop? You talking about the Becky Hammon that took over games, that coached the Spurs when Pop was gone? You talking about that Becky Hammon? There's honestly, in my mind, I couldn't find a logical reason to make me believe that. Right? Now, what I can say is now that Loyd is coming off the bench, and I was watching the game yesterday and seeing that Loyd requested to come off the bench. All right? Which is huge. Because in the last even in the last year, I've had to be a critic of Jewel. And as one of my favorite players, right? The inconsistency, and then people will talk about Seattle and the whole, behind the scenes locker room stuff that happened there, and I'm not saying that, I'm not saying that is or isn't why she was performing at the inconsistencies that she was. What I am saying is it's big. I'm saying that it could be, right? So criticism sometimes may be harsh, right? The criticism may be harsh because I don't know what's going on in those locker rooms. What I will say is asking to come off the bench and performing is important. And I've said this a long before I even started doing NCAA, WNBA content, right? I said this a long time ago. As a player, you have to want to do what is best for the team. So for Jewel Loyd to say, for her not to say, I'm an all-star, I shouldn't be coming off nobody's bench. And saying, I'm a champion, right? I'm a champion. I shouldn't be coming off nobody's bench. I'm a 2-time champion. I shouldn't be coming off nobody's bench. Instead of doing that, she says, Coach, let me come off the bench. Look at, we're underperforming. The expectations for us are high with the roster that we have. And we just, we lost Tiffany Hayes, which is a big loss, and Kelsey Plum, which was a huge loss. But although they were a huge loss, the Aces last year didn't look like the Aces the year before that, the years before that, right? So now you come in as this new piece, and people are looking at you like you're the Jewel Loyd, the gold mamba, and then the team is shit. I mean, you're going to receive a lot of critic, right? Everybody. If you see, people have to understand this too. You don't know what goes on, from now basketball personnel. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes, why coaches are making decisions, why players are making decisions, if there's locker room drama. You don't know that. All you can do is speculate and make assumptions. All right? So, seeing her come on this team and selflessly ask, Coach, let me come off the bench. And then now you see them winning. And then y'all was talking about KB, and I ain't going to act like I wasn't talking about KB, Kirsten Bell. But what we have to understand is that if you're in the WNBA or any of these leagues, you have to be one of the top players. It doesn't matter. Some people spots are replaceable. But let's not act like they're not playing. It doesn't matter, though. Let's not act like they're not playing some of the best basketball. You don't just get on those teams and not be a good basketball player. All right? And then some of you guys talk about Bronny James. This is not about Bronny James. And Bronny James, I will say this about Bronny James real quick. Bronny James has all the resources in the world. If you guys don't think that he's going to get better, that's delusional. Right? And how good is he going to be? I don't know. But to think that this kid, whose dad is LeBron James, who spends over $1 million on his body a year, his son is not going to have the best resources to get better. Let's be serious, right? That's why I don't publicly criticize certain people. If I do, I'm always if I always criticize people, I'm always thinking there's something else to the story that I'm missing, right? Just like the Jewel Loyd in Seattle situation, right? So now she's coming off the bench, which I think was a great move, a player move. A coach has to trust, okay, I got to put my ego aside as a coach and allow you to do that. If you think that's what's best for the team, right? And then, like I said, KB taking the spot, and she's performing. I said off the first 2 games, she's not doing bad, and she can shoot, she can stretch the floor, and she's big. So I think that's important, right? It was somebody else big that was stretching the hell out the floor the other day. I can't even think about it. Oh, Jonquel freaking Jones. I know I'm skipping because I wasn't even going to talk about this next. But Jonquel Jones, oh my gosh. I thought she had about 40 points the other day, the way she was getting buckets. I think that I watched the Dallas game. She only had 17 points though, but the way that she be stretched, she hit 3 of them cash 3. One of them was right, the girl was right here. I said, yeah, she's a problem. And because she's a problem, and you don't have Stewie on the floor, and nobody on that Liberty team is under 5'10" and legit. You can look and see those players and see that they're over 5'10". I played with Rebecca Gardner, right? She's what I thought she was a post player in high school, right? And them was some fun games. Having to guard the best players on the team, I love that. I loved it. And then you see your dog make it to the league. That's something that's different. So shout out to Rebecca, first of all. A WNBA champion. Okay, I see you, Becca. Worked her way, worked her ass off, worked her way into the league, right? So I love that for her. But like I said, none of them are under 5'10". That's a big ass team, right? And then the girls that's shooting threes, they gotta be 6'2", 6'3". Then you got Jonquel. Then you got Sabrina. Then you got Stewie. And then you got, first of all, Natasha Cloud. Hold on now. Let me get my stuff together before I miss somebody who's important to the team, who's important to, the championship run. And it's like between them and Minnesota, I just can't see nobody beating them just because of their size and their personnel. Like Minnesota's not as big as New York, but they are nice as New York. Don't get it twisted. So it's gonna be interesting. Playoffs are gonna be interesting. I'm gonna be honest with you. So yeah, I was watching New York yesterday, like flabbergasted on how good like the ball movement is, how good they play as a team, and you can tell Stewie's over there buying them girls Labubus. Like, come on now. Yes, team. Stewie's a fucking leader. Okay, let's be clear. Stewie is a leader, and that's who people need to be taking notes from. Fee is a leader. You got a whole Unrivaled league dedicated to y'all getting this real money and helping you get better. Helping everybody's developing. In those type of systems, 3-on-3, 1-on-1, you are developing. You're playing against the best of the best every night. And like they say, you got to put your pride aside to go out there. That 1-on-1 tournament was something serious, okay? And the guards, the ones that was supposed to be cooking, was getting beat. And put some respect. Hold on, because we going off the dome right now. Put some respect on these women. And I told somebody yesterday, they are limiting who to market. They're limiting who to market. What I mean by that is that there's more players in the league than Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese. Who else do they be trying to push? Sophie Cunningham. All of the girlfriends. All of the bullshit that don't got nothing to do with nothing. Right? And I love all these players. I love them all. And all of them serve a purpose as far as the marketing. But when it comes to the league, right? And their propaganda or whatever they got going on, why are we focused on this? Are these particular people, when you got players like, when we talk about in-game media, like the WNBA, right? So we're not going to push Alicia Gray. We're not going to push Kelsey Plum, which I see y'all kind of pushing Kelsey. We're not going to push Kelsey Mitchell. Are we serious? So I told somebody yesterday that the WNBA is limiting themselves by not highlighting certain players. Because they're acting like there's only these little bit of players right here who they got race issues and Their fans got race, their race baiting issues and all this other foolishness that don't got nothing to do with nothing. And you got players over here that are really like that. And everybody would love to see them. 38 points, Kelsey Mitchell. Everybody has said Kelsey Mitchell is the hardest person in the league to guard. Yet, she's not getting the pub that she needs. Or not that she needs, that she should receive, the flowers that she should receive, because y'all want to focus on her teammate, who's also very good at basketball. Let's not get it twisted. But in college, they played a game, and now it's her versus her. Like, please, stop it. And I'm sure everybody's tired of it. Even though it's bringing publicity, I'm sure everybody's tired of it. Let's be serious. All right? So, yes, it's some players in the league that need to be highlighted more than they are. And that's period on period on period. Next. Because I said Kelsey, I already talked about the Las Vegas Aces, and I was supposed to go on to Kelsey Plum right after that. But I didn't. But, going into that, Kelsey Plum is really her. Let's just say that. Kelsey Plum is showing you guys, I've been like that. And like she said, and I've said this. Now I didn't realize right now, and I understand everything, right? I'm about to break everything that she said down to you right now. All right? I already have said there's no way that Jackie Young and Kelsey Plum are going to continue to be able to play on this team, and this team is going to continue to be successful. Why? Here's the why. Jackie Young got way better. Right? And I'm not even saying she got way better, even though she did get way better. Let's not get it twisted. She understood, fuck it, she got way better. Period. Anywho. So because she got way better, now her role gets bigger. And then, Chelsea was out a lot last year. So now her role is bigger. Now you're a star. You was already a star. Now you a motherfucking star. Okay? So now, how are the two going to coexist? And that was my thing. People are like, Jackie Young is so inconsistent. Jackie Young is in her first year of having to be the second option. Right? Especially when Jewel is not performing. Right? And really, she's the starter on the team. Now, second option. And she's been playing the second best. Right? Or some nights, equivalently. Her and Asia distributing the weight on the team. Right? So, when it comes to her, Kelsey, Asia, Chelsea, right? I understand Kelsey because she understands her inconsistency last year. And I used to be on Prize Picks like, yeah, they about to. And it started to get so hard, really, I just stopped using them. Because you never knew which one was going to be consistent. And then when you try to flip, like, okay, that one was inconsistent this game, and then you try to strategize, it still didn't work. So I knew it wasn't going to work. Because they both deserve, right? Especially if you're not winning anymore, they both deserve to be that girl on their team. And that's just the facts. And that's what Kelsey Plum is saying. Like,
I think there's a couple components. I think that, every year you come back and you're like playing on a great team. You're willing to sacrifice, do whatever it takes. But I think there's a point where you start to feel like underappreciated. That's like, I'm not special in that. That's everyone, right? And you sacrifice. And the basketball element of feeling like, okay, it's not about like shots or points or anything like that. It's just more feeling, okay, I'm going to take less money. I want to be here. But, like, I have to take less again. And then, like, okay, yeah, I'll set cross screens and back screens for Asia all day. Like, no problem. But then you start to feel like, okay, am I becoming the fourth option? You know, and, like, we're not winning. So that it also feels like, you know, frustrating. Like, I think there's egos involved. And, again, it's not just me. It's like, that's what happens when you play on a team with a ton of people that are budding stars, right? You're trying to figure out how to make it work. And I kind of just felt like I needed a fresh start. I needed a fresh start personally. I needed a fresh start professionally. And I felt like my growth was kind of capped in Vegas.
I've won championships. We've won championships. So half of people that play basketball who are competitive, because you have to realize that she is freaking competitive as hell, right? When we talk about 1 to 10 competitiveness, she is 10, period, right? And those are the people that you want on your team, like Skylar Diggins. That's why I can never really talk about her, because those are the type of people who you want on your side, and we're gonna talk about that in a second too, all right? Because you guys, what I've seen is people have been giving certain players shit, like Kelsey Plum, for being the type of player that she is. Are we dumb? Ain't that what Remy Ma would say? Like, come on now. So, as a competitor, as a player, you want to win. So she's done that. Check. That's checked off my list. If we can continue to win, right? If I can lead this month, she's the type of player, if I can lead this month with 6, 7 rings, I'm going to do that. But only if it makes sense. So I'm not doing what I'm here to do, and everybody has their individual goal. And if my goal is to be one of the best, and she thrives to be one of the best, like they was asking about her work ethic, like that's what you're here to do. It's a job. You love what you do. You want to be the best, period. If you step on the floor and don't want to be the best, then what are you even doing here? And that's how players like her think. So, if I got to be the fourth option and we're not winning, then it's no point of being here anymore. Let me go help somebody else who needs me, right? So I even had another coach. Like, most of my conversations are a lot of coaches, really mostly coaches that play basketball. So I was having another conversation with my friend who's a coach, and she's like, I sent her the Kelsey Plum video, and she was like, was she really the fourth option? And I'm like, yeah, you have to think about it. Like, I wouldn't say she was the fourth option. I would say that those options were interchangeable. And when those options are interchangeable, it makes it inconsistent, right? It makes a player inconsistent. Like, A'ja Wilson is always going to be number 1 option. Now, who's the options after her? Well, then to me, okay, Chelsea Gray is the point guard. So usually the point guard has, regardless of their contributions, they usually have to be one of the top options, right? When you talk about making the decisions. Because even though the point guard might not have 30 points, the point guard is making the decisions on who gets the ball and who's going to be the best option for the night. If you don't think that that's what's going on in the point guard's head, like Chelsea Gray is, who's giving me what? And I'm going to try to distribute it, but the ball is going to go to who's performing. Right? So I wouldn't necessarily call her the fourth option, but I understand what she means is that she is interchangeable. Like, am I the third option today? Am I the second option today? Am I the fourth option today? Like, some days it was her being the fourth option, when she could very well be the point guard at Los Angeles Sparks and be the first option. And now she is making the decisions. And then she gets to play her style of basketball. Get to the rack on you. Ooh, get to the rack with that left. Ooh. Or pop this 3 in your eye. All right? And always moving. That's why I say one thing about that Las Vegas Aces team, you could tell that they work. Jackie Young, you could tell by they work out. They're not playing. They're taking this very serious. They're not taking this lightly. Right? So she goes to LA, and now what do we see? Kelsey Plum has done. I had to look this up yesterday. Because I had to look up, I forgot who I was looking up. Who has the most user ratings? Alright? Kelsey Plum plays the most minutes in the she averages the most minutes in the WNBA right now. Whoa, so I had to get some stats, right? So I'm looking at, so Kelsey Plum averages the most minutes in the WNBA, right? So now from the minutes, you got to go to like user rating. You know, who's being used the most in the games. So I'm looking at this, and lo and behold, like I said, A'ja Wilson. I've said this in the whole offense is A'ja Wilson. A'ja Wilson. If it breaks down, if we don't got nothing, A'ja Wilson. If we do got something, A'ja Wilson. And to me, when it comes to the coaching, right? To me, that's the biggest critic I would have for like the coaching, is that it didn't look like no structure was going on. All right. So right now, A'ja Wilson is like she's been going crazy for the last couple of weeks. So that works, right? And then you have Loyd coming off the bench, so it's like now it's not like I have to try to get other people involved, or she doesn't get the touches, right? Because that becomes a thing too. So when going back to Kelsey Plum being the fourth option, you're thinking like A'ja is really your 1 and your 2 option and your 3 option. So 4 option is whoever else for the night, right? That's how they play to me. So when I go to Kelsey Plum is 15 in usage, right? And they have a good squad over there, so I'm not surprised in that. But she does average the most minutes in the league right now, which means that her stamina is crazy, which means that she's really, like I said again, serious about this. So it's good seeing her on the Sparks. It's good seeing her in the role that she wants to be in, thriving in the role. And hopefully, you feel me? Hopefully retires the Spark, because she's going to be one of those players that's going to be still good for a very long time. And she wants to win. She knows how to win. And she can teach the youth. Like, you can tell that she's really could be a great mentor, right? We talking Sue Birds, right? Don Staley. We talking about those type of mentors or former players, etc. Like her and that Paige Beckers matchup. Oh my gosh. Paige Beckers is really her. Like it's teams that I watch play, and I just pull out like I said, I was up watching 4 or 5 games last night. And it's players who you just want to watch play. And like I said, some of these teams are not good. And that's why the WNBA needs to do better on marketing certain players. Because some of these teams are not good, but there's players, and I won't say that they're not good, because the Indiana Fever would have been good if they didn't have all these damn injuries. But Kelsey Mitchell is somebody you want to watch play basketball. Paige Beckers and the thing about their team, because let's be clear, I almost called them a terrible team. I don't think that they're a terrible team. After watching a few games, I don't think that they're a terrible team. I think that they're a young team. I think that they have some very solid pieces on that team. I think that they lack in the I wouldn't even say height department, because they got Lee over there, and that's who I was talking about earlier, who stretches the hell out the floor. She stretches the hell out the floor. So she not only this, and this is why, to me, that team, they get a couple more veteran pieces. They'll be solid, because you got your big, who really a lot of her shots, from what I've seen, are 3-pointers. So she stretches out the floor, allowing her guards to penetrate and kick. Woo! allows Paige to get all the way downhill. Okay? So, and then defensively, she can guard. She's, 6'6" or something? She's big as hell, so she can guard almost anybody on the floor. So, and I was a critic of her. I ain't gonna lie. Because I thought she was a little soft in the paint. And I still could be right. But I see what you can do when you have her and Paige on the floor. Alright? Who can stretch out the floor, like I said, and Enrique. Right? Then you got the rookie class over there is tough. Isaiah and Quillery, tough. But Paige is the type of player, like I said, her ability to read the floor, that dog in her. Like Paige, people don't, like, when, I think I seen a video where AZ was saying that Paige talks the most trash. Like, people like, oh, Paige be talking shit. They're like, Paige be talking mad shit. But that's what you love. Like, Paige is white chocolate. Okay? I don't care what none of y'all talking about. Paige and Marine Johannes, you be like, just their playing style. I'm not comparing the two, but just their playing style. You be like, I gotta check your DNA. I gotta check your ancestry, because it's definitely giving from the motherland, whichever one you prefer, America or Africa. I don't know. Anywho, Paige is really like that. I did want to talk about Paige. I just love her game. Her game is phenomenal. Ugh. She's definitely in the top five players. You can build a team after. Like I said, to me, she's still the best player on that team. I love that Enrique is not having, like, her consistency is picking up. I think, another thing we have to think about, like, everybody as fans, and even me, I get caught up in it too, as spectators, everybody's talking about, oh, when this player's not performing, or when that player's not performing, or they messed up the parlay, or whatever, right? But sometimes you have to look at the dynamic of what has transpired, right? They just picked three rookies. Well, they have 4. They cut 1 for sure. So 3 rookies on the team. You just had these trades, right? Melissa, Dijonai, Sabali left. So Enrique has to adjust to playing with somebody else. So that was going to be, at the beginning of the season, like, how was Enrique going to adjust playing with somebody else? And you could tell, like, from the gate that her and Paige had chemistry. I think Paige has freaking chemistry with anybody, to be honest with you. But you could see that Enrique was opening, right? And I think she was maybe have been so opening, because you got to think, I don't know her. I don't know her mentality, but I know players like her. Like, okay, I want Paige to come in and be comfortable, because I know that she's going to be a huge asset to this team. So I'm going to let her do her. And even though my game may take a hit at the beginning, I'm going to do that. So that very may well could be what happened with that. And then, now you see she's doing her thing too. So I think that team, I like that team in the long run. I like the pieces that they have. I like Jones. I really like Jones. She's another player on that team that I can say I really like. And then there's another guard, I can't remember her name, who I really like on that team. So they solid. The Sparks, that's my squad. I'm always going to be a hometown kid. Kelsey Plum has been in my top 5, top 10 for a minute now. So definitely Rakia Jackson. Rakia? Okay. Because I was on TikTok scrolling too, watching a lot of basketball yesterday. Rakia got to be more confident. She confident, but she got to be a little bit more confident in her interviews. Like, they asked her question like, who do people compare your game to? And she's like, well, they say.
I never personally just like, I want to be like that person.
Who do you get compared to?
I mean, it's a lot. So, actually, I don't really watch like the NBA like that. I'll like watch the NBA. But I heard Kevin Durant. That's what they say. I didn't say this. They said it.
Kevin Durant. Well, that's them that says it. Like, girl, no, just say they say Kevin Durant. Forget about all that they say. Nah, you heard. That's cool. You heard. I believe it. Do you believe it? All right, do your thing. Shit, fuck all that. They say. No, yeah, we say, and you need to just say. That's what we say. Without all the extras. So yeah, I like Rakia. Cam is, man, she's definitely a volleyball player. Ray, I love the whole Ray, Hamby. I like that team. There's no point of even continuing to talk about it. They finally given me a reason to go to the games. Thank you. Who else? Seattle. Man, Seattle. Cause I like players and I like teams. Right? So I like Minnesota. I like New York. I really love Nafisa Collier. I really love Brianna Stewart. Right? And then I like players like Courtney. I like players like Tosh. But when you talk about teams, like, if they can get their shit together, they really my second team would be Seattle. But what the hell is going on with y'all? Y'all done fell all the way to 11th place. I thought for sure y'all was going to be in the playoffs. Y'all been taking L's. So it gotta be, it's just like Notre Dame last year. It gotta be something. It gotta be something. And I hope it ain't what they be saying it is. Because like I said, we not in these locker rooms. What I can say is I also had to go down the Skylar Diggins rabbit hole because you guys are always blaming Skylar Diggins for some shit. I seen something that said that Noel Quinn and the staff was bullying people, and then they said, and Skylar Diggins. Come on now. Come on now. I don't see it. I can't see it just because I feel like I really could see the type of player that she is. And you just have to understand who people are. Right? And I don't think that this generation can see what this is, right? Like, y'all need to get y'all shit together. And I understand some of it is, I will say some of it is so far intense that it probably could simmer down just a little bit, right? It could. Do I see it? Yes. We might need to have a conversation about it, which I'm assuming probably already has happened. So, hey, I don't know. All I know is I see the interviews, I see the person, right? Because I could see you on the court and make any judgment that I want about you. But when I can see you in the answers you give and the authenticity that you give, I see you. So when Skylar Diggins says, yeah, I tell the young kids, I think it was at Notre Dame, yeah, I tell the young kids, like, I'm always here. I'm always going to be a vessel. But I'm always going to be in your ass, and I'm always going to hold you accountable.
Just establish it like that. And I know you guys got great leadership. You got great coaches around you that'll make sure that it happens. But I'm a resource too, so feel free to, whenever y'all need to reach out, whatever the case may be, if you want me to. But I'm going to hold that mirror up. So be careful. You know, it's hard when coaches hold that mirror up to you. So be coached hard. This is the best in the nation that you got right here. So accessibility to this, resources, that's what people don't have. So this is the most important thing right here, what we do in practice this time that we get together.
So if you can't take that, then I don't know. You know, I see them comparing her to people that she don't never need to be compared to, first of all. Let's dead that. right? Players that are not in the league, right? Because locker room, it's not giving that. So we're not going to do that. But I see her. So I see her. You see the player she was. Ain't nothing changed but a fucking team. She been this intense. Right? And I played with players that have been that intense. And I've been that intense. Right? Getting in people's asses. Getting really in people's asses. I done played on teams where y'all take it to the circle. Okay? If it's that serious. Right? So, I played on teams where you can't guard her. Do you need a switch? Coach. I've coached teams where players are like, Coach, sub her. Right? She's not doing anything for us right now. And I know that players and people take that stuff personal. So like I said, I do think that she's intense. Yes, absolutely. But the type of intensity, I don't know. And she's a mom. Like, come on now. You know how mamas be. Mamas don't be playing no games. Okay? We're not talking about De'Erica Hamby, who seems like a sweetheart. We're not talking about that. Because I don't know what type of temperament she's had. I know the Skylar Digger's temperament, though. And what it's been, and it's been consistent. And it's giving, Mom, get your shit together. I told you to get them toys up off the ground right now. Right now. No, I didn't tell you to do it in 10 minutes. I told you to do it right now. That's what I see. I'm sorry. So, I mean, maybe I'm delusional. And you can call me that. I'll be okay with being delusional for today. But y'all get it together. She cussed one of y'all out one time because she said y'all didn't get back on defense, so she had to pick up the foul. I got to pick up a foul. Man, I play with players like that. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't understand y'all. Maybe she's not adapting to the sensitivity of today's climate. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be biased. I already said that. I'm going to be biased. But in times where it's time for accountability, I'll say yes, it's intense. And can we tone it down for the team? Maybe. All right, but I don't think she's the only person on that damn team that's intense. I think that they need to get it together, though. I think that they all need to get it together. Because they really got a team, and I think a lot of them go into free agency. Let's see who goes into free agency. We gotta end it in 2026 free agency. All right, we're gonna end it here, y'all. Damn. This can't be this is like everybody. Hold on, this can't be the list. Is this the list? 2026. Let's see. Unrestricted free agent. Let's see. Damn, that list is long, y'all. Alright. First of all, this is only notable players that's up for free agency in 2026. This is crazy. Are there any not returning? Alright, Jackie Young up for free agency. 28 years old. Kelsey Mitchell up for free agency. We don't even want to talk. Do we want to talk about everybody? Yes, Jewel Loyd up for free agency. Kalia Copper, Arika Wnba. But no, we're only talking about Seattle. Okay, let's only talk about Seattle up for free agency. There's a lot of free agents on this list coming up for next season, y'all. But for Seattle, you got Gabby Williams up for free agency. Skylar Diggins up for free agency. Nneka Ogwumike up for free agency. Britney Sykes. Ezzy Magamore. Katie Lou, which, she didn't play. Erica Wheeler. Tiffany Mitchell. So now we got to think about free agency when it comes to Seattle. All the players that mean anything to the team are up for free agency. So you could potentially lose your whole team in free agency this season. Right? And it'll be telling if Britney Sykes is like, no, I ain't coming back here, right? I don't know what that trade looked like. I guess they traded her in hopes to keep her long term. Gabby Williams was up there in minutes played, but have her minutes decreased? Let's look game log. Damn. Okay, so we talked about this. Oh no, that's five. We talked about this the other day about Gabby's minutes, right? Because my friend said her minutes have gone down, but her minutes have not gone down. Her minutes have not really gone down, like 30 plus minutes, okay? Then you see in July, her minutes started to go from 24. She had 24, from 30 to 24, 27. Then she back to 30. She back up in the 30s. She had 2 25-minute games in the month of August. So when I say in July her minutes went down, because in July she was playing 24 minutes. She was averaging probably 25 minutes, 24, 25.5 minutes, something like that, right? And then in August, her minutes went up. So I wouldn't say, I wouldn't agree with her minutes are decreasing since Britney Sykes. I would not agree with that. But I haven't been able to watch too many games to see what's been going on with them post Britney Sykes. I mean, since Britney Sykes. I've seen them post Britney Sykes, and they still been losing. So, I don't know. They need to get it together. Alright? So, I really think that's it. That's all we got to talk about today. I think we talked about everything that there is to talk about. You know? Let's get it. Let's see how the rest of the season finishes out. Let's see what the playoffs is looking like. So I might be back playoff-ish, maybe before that if anything else is interesting. Other than that, I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Peace.